Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Um, I just wanted to come to y'all for a few minutes. Attorney being Crump has been hired by Shaquilla Robinson Family to have this case expedited. So they did a press conference yesterday, and I wanted to play some of what was said at the press conference, and then I'm going to come back and share my insight on some of what I have found out uh, doing this. I think it's good that the family has. Let me see. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, here we go.
North Carolina, where Shanquella Robinson hailed from. But most important, we have present with us her sister Quila, long her mother, what she has endured. Don't imagine. She's not alone. We're standing with her, and we will never ever leave pursuit with justice because life matters. That's right. Yes. That's right. Yes, sir. Beyond for joy, partner, but as a strong black woman who sees the humanity and somewhere around reported dead on Robert this year. I know her sister, a great historically black university in North Carolina. Yeah, he owned a clothing girls' hair profession. That's what she did all day. And obviously, she was an influencer on social media. In 106 days, he died. That's 18 weeks. Video footage of her being beat literally to death was released on November 16th, 2022, 108 days ago. 15 weeks and 3 days, and still, with all this visual evidence, nobody has been arrested.
That's right. That's right.
Nobody has been arrested. And as my son, the general, always talks about, Black lives matter, our black children lives matter. And people always try to say, well, you all don't show up when black people get killed by other black people. You only show up if a white police officer get killing a black person. No, that's not it. Oftentimes we can't get the media to cover it. But in my son, Until Freedom, our law firm, we have been showing up when black people get killed unjustly, whether it's a white person who killed him or it's a black person who killed him. Because Shanquella Robinson life matters. 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 In the video, a woman who was identified by witness as Dajanay Jackson is seen brutally beating Shanquella Robinson while she is stark naked. I argue it's just as bad to Mika Mallory or worse than how they beat Tyree Nichols to death.
That's right.
I mean, you look at those videos, they are both horrific, inhumane.
Yes.
The travel mates who went to Mexico with her, I mean, you're talking about adding insult to injury. Sabina, the travel mates returned from Mexico to the United States and told Miss Robinson she died of alcohol poisoning. Failed to mention the fight or what we saw in that video, Roland Martin, that Shanquella Robinson had a head injury, that she was attacked, that they were joking about it, texting about what happened in the aftermath of the tragedy. But they never mentioned that to Miss Robinson. We are asking for high level of diplomatic intervention from the President of the United States and the State Department to do what is necessary to bring the person or the people who are responsible for the murder of Shanquella Robinson to justice.
Yes.
Let me repeat that again. We are asking for high-level intervention, diplomatic intervention from the President of the United States and the State Department to do whatever is necessary to bring justice to Shanquella Robinson by the person or the persons responsible for her death. It's not a hard act. When you look at that video, it is not a hard act. And when you think about when white women go missing, it's not a hard act. My colleagues will get more into that later. Now, the family retained us, and my law partner, Sue Ann Robinson, as I said, she went above and beyond. The family asked her, and she went on a fact-finding mission to Mexico on their behalf after being advised by us that the Mexican authorities were not doing their job. That's what the U.S. said. The Mexican authorities were not doing their job in regards to investigating this crime. And so, you know, for black people to get justice often in America and certainly abroad, we have to go above and beyond. And Sue Ann Robinson went above and beyond. I mean, this sister, she went down to Mexico for a week. I mean, had threats to her safety. She's a mother of two beautiful little girls, but she saw that she could not justify staying safe and playing it safe while Miss Robinson's daughter had been killed. So Sue Ann Robinson deserves all the credit in the world for going down there and getting the evidence necessary for us to come here today and to say to the department that it is clear Mexico has advised that their investigation is complete. They have identified a suspect. That suspect is currently out free in the United States of America.
That's right.
And that is not right, that the suspects and the people involved are sleeping comfortably in their own beds at night. If they are guilty of a crime, then the United States government should do one or two things. One, they should either extradite the person who murdered Shanquella Robinson to Mexico to face the charges and the crimes that have been alleged against her. Or two, they should take jurisdiction. Mexico is willing to give jurisdiction to the United States to bring a case for those responsible for killing Shanquella Robinson to justice. And the only question is, State Department, President Biden, what are you going to do to bring justice for this broken-hearted family, especially this mother of Shanquella Robinson? It's not a hard act. Either extradite the killer or take jurisdiction so you can prosecute the killer. It's simple. And so my co-counsel is going to go into details with you, and then you're going to hear a couple of people, especially my sister Tamika Mallory, who is going to make the case even more plain, because we can't have different justice systems depending on the ethnicity of the victim. We can't have one set of justice for white women and another set of justice for black women. We got to have one justice system for the United States of America. And so that's why Attorney Robinson deserves just so much credit for going to get the evidence that is necessary for us to now make the case for justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Now you're going to hear from my partner, Attorney Sue Ann Robinson. Y'all give her a big round of applause. This sister here, I'm so proud to work with.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I want to first and publicly, which I do every day, thank Mrs. Robinson and Quilla for putting their shoulder to the plow to seek justice on behalf of Shanquella Robinson. I'm thanking them for doing something that so often only Black and brown families have to do. They have to grieve their loved one. They have to adjust to normalize their life with the loss of their loved one. And at the same time, they have to become part of a movement, part of a club that no one asked to be in. They have to beg for dignity and respect in death. They have to seek justice on behalf of their loved ones. They don't have the privacy to grieve and do those things in private. So I want to thank them publicly for turning their pain into purpose. Yeah, that's right. And for giving me the honor of assisting in their case. We've been doing this for a very long time. Black women have been having to come to the front line against oppression because of our intersectionality. We're Black and we're female. And so based on that alone, we have a unique set of oppressions we have to deal with and fight against since Mamie Till. And I stand today on her shoulders, on the shoulders of all the Black women who have to grieve publicly in order to push the most important work of our time forward, which is that we would receive equal treatment, that we would also receive equal justice under the laws of the country that we're born in. Shanquella was a beautiful, adventurous entrepreneur. Unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to know her in life, but getting to know her in death has changed my life. And no one should have to suffer the indignities that she did. We deserve to live peaceful lives enjoy vacations, and die old, peaceful deaths.
That's right.
Being on the ground in Mexico on a fact-finding mission was surreal. I'm an attorney. I went to law school. I know what the laws are. I'm a former prosecutor. I know what the Department of Justice can do if someone flees from justice. So for me, on behalf of this family, to have to physically go and seek justice on their behalf was unreal. In another country, with another language. Going to those places, going to the police station, going to the Attorney General's office, going to the Mexican Red Cross, going to the office of the doctor that attended to her, going to the actual villa and the places where she walked, where she spent her last moments, trying to find answers for this family was absolutely unreal. Nobody should have to do that for something that is equal and fair. They're not asking for anything special. They're not asking for anything unique. They're asking for their government to intervene in a case and take jurisdiction for a crime that we all saw unfold on video.
My Lord.
The most important thing from the case going to Mexico, I learned two things. One, that Quilla and Mrs. Robinson are creating their own path to find justice in an international case because there isn't a path to get information, to find out what's happening on your case, to find out what happened to your loved one. There is no such path. They are creating the path. And number two, most importantly, because they were being ping-ponged between the U.S. authorities and Mexican authorities. They got sick of it. No one was returning their phone calls. Mexican authorities confirmed that they have completed their investigation. We've had the opportunity to review some of the packet, and it has been sent. The ball is clearly States Court, the Department of Justice. The ball is in your court.
That's right.
Do what you have to do. In Mexico, we went to the U.S. consulate, who is supposed to be the liaison and the protection for American citizens abroad. We got no such warm greeting. We got no such constitutional rights. We got no such assistance, liaison information. In fact, we were almost impeded and advised that if the family needed more information, they should talk to the 6 travel mates that went to Cabo with Shanquella.
Outrageous.
It was the accessories to the murder.
Outrageous.
The level of disrespect to Shanquella Robinson's dignity, even in death, is unreal. We had to go ourselves to the Attorney General, explain to them, hey, we're not just trying to show up here. We tried to follow the protocol, but we're not going to leave without any information. And we were assisted by the Mexican authorities who advised the ball is in your court. We've sent everything over to Interpol. We sent everything over to the FBI. They advised that the case is a top priority for them. I haven't been advised of that by the State Department here at all. Have you guys been told that? No. Okay. The issue now is that there has to be a high level of diplomatic intervention. And I say high level to be tongue in cheek because, to be honest, the highest level is right here. That's why we're here.
That's right.
President Biden, the head of the Department of Justice, the State Department, you've all got calls from our office.
Yes, sir. And letters.
And no answers. You've got letters. Let's do what's right by Shanquella Robinson, and let's always do what's right by Black women.
Yes.
I work every single day in what I call the most important work of our time because I would like this job to become obsolete. I would like to have to stop coming before the press and begging for dignity and respect on behalf of my Black clients. Put us out of business, please. President Biden, Department of Justice, State Department, International Affairs. It's on y'all.
That's right.
And we're waiting.
Yes, that's right.
Right here.
Yes.
Until justice is served for this family.
Yes, right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Great. Right. Great. Great.
Thank you so much, Attorney Sue Ann Robinson. And it should not be that our office has to step in and try to do the work for the United States Department of Justice or the State Department itself. So heartfelt. I can only imagine you being in the villa after seeing that video. And again, like Attorney Robinson said, Tamika Mountain and Sue Ann Robinson, they have been strong Black women leading this effort. And I think that's important. We have to step up for our people. If nobody else will step up for us, we got to step up for our people. And so my son is never lost on me that they try to say we only show up and show out when it's white people who kill us. No, when anybody kill us, they try to unjustly. That's right. We stand up for justice. That's correct. That's right. And so the President of the United States, the State Department, the Justice Department has to do those two things. Either they're going to extradite the killer of Shanquella Robinson, or they're going to take jurisdiction. It is that simple. And we won't take one day off of demanding our allies at the White House or anywhere else that we stand up for Black people getting justice, even if it's inconvenient for you. That's right. Even if you think it's a nuisance for you. Well, we don't think Shanquella Robinson was a nuisance. We don't think that she was insignificant. We don't think that she was irrelevant. We don't think that she was inferior. She was a strong, brilliant Black woman, the best that we had to offer the world. And that's why we're going to continue to fight for justice for Shanquella Robinson. And we're so happy that we have all type of organizations, civil rights organizations, standing on the front line with us. I have the honor of having President Kuswa Ali of the Washington chapter of the NAACP come and present to you in this fight for justice. President Ali, thank you for your leadership.
Okay, I just wanted to cover part of the conference that was called out and share a little bit of what I had seen. So that was a part of what was shown, was a part of the conference yesterday, and they're asking for the president to come in and intervene. Let me give y'all a little bit of legwork on being Crump. Being Crump is a civil rights and a personal injury attorney. And he protects the rights of individuals. He's a civil rights, he labor, employment, civil actions. So he does a lot in the community with helping people. Another thing that they were talking about in that news conference was diplomat. I can't even pronounce it correctly. They are asking for the government. Diplomat is the process of communication and negotiating among officers, representations, and that happens in approximately 200 states and about 450 IGOs for the purpose of maximizing communication and maximizing conflict. So basically, what they're doing is asking the government, who does have the jurisdiction, to come in and expedite these people either to Mexico or they can prosecute them here on U.S. soil. And what they were saying is that when she went to Mexico, that they were basically giving her their butt to kiss. I don't know how else to say it. But she caught so many issues down there, and even the U.S. people that are on Mexico soil wouldn't even help her. So what I'm seeing there is that that's why they're coming back and they're asking the government to step in and help them. So, prosecuting a crime outside of America. If you commit a crime outside of America and both of y'all are U.S. citizens, yes, the U.S. can prosecute in this case because all both of y'all, the people that committed the crime and the people that and the victim are all from the US. So the government can step in and prosecute them. And this is what they're asking the government to do, is to step in and prosecute these 6 individuals who has killed this young lady because she didn't even fight back. It was a brutal attack. That's what we have to look at. It was basically a brutal attack. They attacked her. You could hear one guy in the back saying, "Are you going to fight back?" And she was saying no. So basically, they attacked her. Can Biden them step in? Yes, they can. And this is what being Crump and Shanquella Robinson family, they went to the White House and they asked for Biden them to step in. Not only the crime was captured on video. I mean, what can you say? It was on video. It's not like y'all even hid it. It was planned. How did what you did get back to the United States if you wasn't sharing the video? You shared y'all beating up this young lady. You shared it with people over here in the United States in order for the video to get around. So that means that you planned this. You wanted to show people what y'all did. But she didn't fight back. So basically, all y'all attacked her and nobody stepped in to help her. Nobody stepped in to help her. Not only did you do that, but you went and sat down at the mother's table and ate lunch. That's the way I want to call it. You sit down and eat lunch. And I got the devil sitting around with me. That's about like Jesus said, I had 12 disciples and one of them was a Jew. So you got 6 of these demons sitting around you at a table telling you that your daughter died of alcohol poisoning. And that wasn't the case. Is that all of them beat her to death. They literally beat her to death. Um, Another case, Tariq case, where the police officers just beat him to death. I can see a comparison with this case. They just beat this young lady to death. Out of 6 people, nobody intervened to say, stop. Nobody cared enough about her to say, look, y'all, this is not right. Nobody thought enough to say, I'm not going to jail for beating this young lady up. I don't even want to be a part of you beating her up like this. Nobody stepped in to help her. Well, to me, all 6 need to be in jail. All 6 need to be prosecuted in some kind of way for this young lady's death. If you sat in on it and you watched this young lady get beat to death, then you should be locked up as well. Now, that's my point of view. They've asked the president to step in, hoping that they will, because they do have the right. The FBI can go in and prosecute. Either they can send them back to Mexico to be prosecuted, or they can prosecute them right here on the U.S. soil. They can lock them up right here. If your family here, lock them up here. My thing is justice needs to be served. I don't care if it's in Mexico. I don't care if it's here. It literally doesn't make a difference to me. Um, as long as you serve, as long as Shaquilla get justice, because y'all killed her. I mean, right now, and I need to go back and apologize because a lot of people were saying that Dejanay was locked up and that they had her in some kind of secluded prison waiting to expedite her back to Mexico. But as from what I'm hearing yesterday, that's not true. So I can apologize. I'm woman enough to do that. She is out. And so if all these people has murdered this young lady and you're going to work every day, you're spending time with your family, Shaquilla can't do that. She'll never be able to spend time with her family. Her dad is devastated. I watched the video and he broke me down with just him crying for his child. I can imagine. I have two children. It would break me down if something happened to my children. Um, so with that being said, I don't even know how y'all came to sit down and ate at this woman's table and playing for this young lady's funeral as if she had alcohol poisoning and all of it was lies. Yes, all of you should be prosecuted. Those are my opinion. Maybe they can't send you back to Mexico because as far as Mexico, they're done with this case. I did a, if you hadn't watched part 5 with Nancy Grace, according to them, and even according to here, Mexico is pretty much done with the case. They said we issued a warrant, and that's it. We just issued a warrant. We didn't put a name on it. We can say you can expedite her back, blah, blah, blah. But from the attorney point of view, as going to Mexico, Mexico could care less about Shaquilla. And so, as far as I'm concerned, then the U.S. need to step in. The FBI said they're working with Mexico. Mexico said, well, we've sent everything to the U.S. Y'all prosecute them. So I feel like Joe Biden, you're our president. Um, y'all need to step in. Somebody needs to step in and have these 6 brought to justice. They need to be questioned. You need to get down to whoever murdered this young lady. I don't know if it was Dejanay. I don't know if it was, what's the other young lady that, because it just as well could be her. I can't think of her name right now, but they said she picked Shaquilla up and slammed her. So I think that was not caught on video that we seen in America. We seen Dejanay beating her, but the young lady that actually killed her was the one they say picked her up and body slammed her, and that's what broke her neck. Maybe they all need to share in. All of them need to be locked up, and all of them need to share in the time, or all of them should be prosecuted the same because everybody sat there and watched it. Nobody intervened. So, from what I'm saying, yes, the U.S. can step in, the U.S. can prosecute them. Mexico, to me, doesn't want anything to do with it. They're throwing it back in the U.S. hands. And so, being Crump is now got his lawyer team together and saying, let's bring this to the president to step in and push them into stepping in to have these people locked up. Because granted, it's been what, 300 and something days? 125 days. It's been 125 days and nothing has been done. And all we are hearing is that the FBI in Mexico is supposed to be working together to expedite these 6 back to Mexico to even question them. And that's not true. Mexico has said, we've sent everything to the United States and it's up to the United States. Okay, so this is what they're asking for, uh, the intervention of the White House to intervene and come and talk with Mexico. If Mexico don't want to prosecute them, then the United States has a right to step in and prosecute them. At the end of the day, the mother said we want them prosecuted, and the family deserves that. They deserve to see them all prosecuted. And so they're fighting for that. I'm going to keep following that. Um, but right now, that's where it's at. They're fighting for Mexico. They're fighting for Biden them to step in, and the Attorney General to step in and prosecute these 6 individuals. And so I'm praying that that will take place, because what they did to this young lady was wrong. And it could have been my daughter. It could have been your daughter. It could have been your sister or your niece. So what they did was definitely wrong. I was kind hearted enough to take all y'all on the trip. And because of jealousy and envy, because that's all I could see it as, somebody got jealous. From what I did learn of the PPP loan. And that was, I did a segment on that as well. Uh, the guy who's supposed to have been her best friend got jealous of Shaquilla because she helped them get loans, but they had to pay their loan back, and hers was a grant. And so she was trying to run her game. She's trying to be at the top of her game, living her best life. She making money, and y'all got jealous. We all went to college together, and that's what's so funny. We don't went to college together, but I'm succeeding, and because you're not where I'm at, you start to get jealous, and jealousy turns into hate. Envy turns into hate, and now y'all end up killing this young lady, and it was just pure jealousy. It was nothing else. I don't believe she did anything to you, not that she not paid for your trip. Um, I think she was very nice to even pay for your trip because, from my knowledge, y'all didn't have any money. She was the one with the money. But yet you kill her and take her money and then lie on why you killed her. I say be careful about the people we call our friends. We all think everybody out here, because people smile and grin in your face, that don't mean they're your friend. That definitely does not mean they're your friend. So be careful who's smiling in your face and he and ha ha, and you think because they talk to you on the telephone that they're your friend, and they can portray you just like they portrayed Shaquilla. And so I'm gonna leave that right there. I commend Ben Crump now for taking this to the White House, asking the president to step in and intervene, put people in place to have these 6 people picked up, questioned if they deserve to be locked up and deserve to serve time, whether they do it in Mexico or whether they do it in the United States. Somebody needs to step in and intervene. And this is what they're asking the White House to do. Send them back to Mexico or lock them up here if they deserve to be locked up for the crime that they committed. Because it's not a hard case. We all seen it on national video where you beat this lady. Uh, it's a closed case. I mean, it's a no-brainer, pretty much. Let's have these people brought to justice. They should not be out here on our streets walking around as if you got away with a crime, because that's pretty much what they've been doing. It's walking around living their life as if they got away with killing this young lady, and it's not right. And justice needs to be served. All right, I'm going to leave it there. Have a great day. I appreciate you stopping in hit the like button if you have not hit the like button. If I'm saying something that you enjoy listening to, subscribe to my station. I welcome you back. Leave your comments. I love to read the comments that are left. Tell me how you feel, if you agree or disagree. I definitely appreciate your comments. Have a great day.